Small businesses used to rely heavily on word of mouth to generate business and traffic. In today's always online society, word of mouth has been replaced by online reviews. Today's presenter, Jon Hall, is the founder and CEO of Grade Us, an online review management and platform. You'll learn how customer reviews impact businesses, how to see reviews as an asset and not a liability, how to treat customer reviews as a marketing channel, and strategies, tactics for review acquisition and amplification. Jon, if you're ready, I'll hand it on over to you.
All right, I am. Thanks, Alex. And thanks to Tab for having me. Like Alex said, I'm Jon, founder and CEO of Grade Us, a online review management and marketing software platform, which is a bit of a mouthful, I know, but I hope to unpack that a bit in today's session. Just a little more about us and my background. Grade Us has been around for just over 4 years, and I've been in digital marketing for quite a bit of time before that. Sold my previous company a software as a service platform for healthcare marketing to a larger agency in 2012, and was working on and off in digital marketing for a bit north of a decade before that, not to date myself too precisely there. But for what it's worth, those are my bona fides coming into this conversation. Let's see here. To set the agenda, for context, I'm going to talk first about this title, from reputation management to reputation marketing, and why we make that distinction. And then I'll switch gears and get tactical, talk a bit about the kinds of actionable steps that present themselves when we start to define what reputation marketing is. Specifically with respect to online customer reviews, and I'll touch on why customer reviews are a focus of ours when as Alex alluded to, there are actually many outlets for the voice of the customer today, but we do have a focus on reviews, and I'll touch on exactly why. And then we'll look at, like I said, sort of tactics under the umbrella of reputation marketing. We kind of bucket them into these useful categories, I think: review acquisition, review monitoring, and review amplification. It's kind of a three-pronged approach to systematizing your approach to online reviews for your business. And then finally, I'll jump into a demo of our platform, really just to illustrate some of the ways of doing these things, of actualizing them, in the hopes that it might spark a fire for some of you who clearly have an interest in reputation marketing or online review management, and so that will at least give a place to start. All right, but it all starts with a shift in thinking that I'll dwell on for a minute, because it sets the stage for everything that follows. And this is a shift that's well underway in digital marketing circles, maybe underway for many of you who've chosen to participate in this webinar. It's a shift that requires, I like to say, a kind of chiropractic adjustment to the business owner's mind on the topic of the voice of the customer. Right? The voice of the customer is, of course, what customers say about your business. But again, as Alex alluded to in her intro, the voice of the customer today is being amplified through a megaphone and spray painted on the walls of the alleys for posterity. This is way beyond word of mouth in the traditional sense. The voice of the customer today has an infinitely large audience and lives on indefinitely online in the form of customer reviews, brand mentions on social media, mentions in online forums, and whatever comes next. So the shift from reputation management to reputation marketing is fundamentally a shift in mindset away from treating this voice of the customer as a liability to treating it as an asset. So this slide, this topic of customers talking about your business and the extremely high stakes that it has in our digital era is enough to make business owners shudder, myself included. And it's because we think of it, we think in terms of how what customers might say might hurt us. We think of it as a liability. And that's really the assumption from which the traditional reputation management industry and ideas proceed, right? So, and it's, you know, it's a natural enough assumption. Like I said, you know, many business owners faced with this topic just kind of, you know, naturally shudder because you are, you know, protective of your business and always, you know, look for what might go wrong. And so the reputation management industry has largely preyed on those fears and has basically become synonymous with reputation repair, right? Doing reputation management is commonly talked about in the context of doing crisis management. It's undertaken in response or in reaction to something bad that happens. And so the tactics of reputation management, and sometimes they are unsavory tactics, but they're all really about suppressing the voice of the customer, whether that's through legal action, aggressive SEO, flooding the internet with alternative content, astroturfing, etc. But the reality, and this was kind of the insight back in 2012, 2013 that you know, prompted my team to pursue this reputation marketing idea, was that, you know, most businesses, like I'm sure many of those represented on this call, have really zero need for traditional reputation management. Right? You likely don't have a crisis of customers bad-mouthing your business. You presumably care about your business and your customers. You provide good or great products and services. You continuously improve or at least set things right when they go wrong. And you also presumably want to not only stay in business, but to grow. And so for most businesses, the crisis here is that you're not leveraging your reputation. You're not leveraging the voice of the customer as an asset. And I'm gonna just take a drink of water real quick. All right. So the shift. So, you know, many businesses, again, like I would imagine many represented on this call, are well positioned to use the voice of the customer, use the voice of their customers as an asset to adopt the strategy of reputation marketing to be a different differentiator or strategy to drive traffic to your doors online and off to increase sales. Reputation marketing, which we'll talk about for the rest of this session, differs from traditional reputation management in that it requires us to kind of flip those points from the previous slide. So we're going to view the voice of the customer as an asset, not a liability. We're going to address the voice of the customer proactively, not reactively. And we're going to look to manage the voice of the customer as a channel, right, as a marketing channel. That means that we'll think about it in the same context that we think about advertising, search, SEO, you know, paid search, organic SEO, PPC, etc. We can develop campaigns for reputation marketing, and we can measure the results of those campaigns. Now, I'll spend a little more time talking about the value proposition here, and then get into the tactics. But I would contend at the outset here that there's probably no more powerful or cost-effective marketing channel available to, particularly to small and local businesses who may not, have the marketing spend of bigger players. There's no more powerful or cost-effective channel than the voice of the customer, and particularly online customer reviews. Now, it's de rigueur in our industry to trot out the litany of studies and statistics that come out every week, it seems, demonstrating the importance of customer reviews. But I really like to talk about the power and importance of online customer reviews in two words: visibility and influence. Visibility is a term that a lot of marketers use with respect to search, search marketing, SEO, et cetera. The idea that your business can be made more visible to people searching for the products and services you provide online through various types of tactics. Reviews are, of course, an important part of percolating your business up into or in front of searchers on Google, Bing, et cetera. Now, on the left-hand side, we see an example of that, where if we were searching for pizza in our town here, where Great Us headquarters is, we know that in the local 3-pack that all of the top results are well reviewed and often reviewed. And so this is a measurable, Google, of course, is a black box to some degree, but we know that reviews are a powerful signal to Google in determining which results it's going to highlight in both local search and universal search. This example is from local. And the factors that contribute to that signal are, of course, not just the quantity of reviews you get, but velocity, meaning recency. Google is algorithmically evaluating your business to determine the extent to which it's a going concern that is a quality operation. And so these are important signals. That this stat is from a Moz study that quantified it at 13% of your total rank in Google. There's another component to visibility here, which is illustrated on the right-hand side. This is a sidebar from a popular site for real estate listings and agents and brokers called Zillow. There's a proliferation of these kinds of industry-focused local directory review sites that are increasingly capturing share of search, share of mind for consumers. And reviews play a similar role here, as we can see in this example, where this again was on the side of a listed property, where you've got the listing agent up top with highlighted with 0 reviews, and then some other agents highlighted under the listing agent, really in sort of rank order in terms of what their review profile looks like. So visibility is big. It would be almost big enough, but then we also have to take into account how insanely influential reviews are to consumers. And this is kind of the 1-2 punch of visibility and influence. You're getting in front of more consumers, and you're persuading them that you're the best. And this is because this stat is from a Bright Local study, recent survey. 84% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. This is an example of online reviews sort of overtaking, in some respects, word of mouth, because again, you've got not just the same degree of influence or nearly the same degree of influence here, but you've got a much larger audience. Then another sort of similar study stat, just noting that negative reviews can also have an adverse effect on consumers deciding to do business with you. And this is important. Well, last slide. That reviews are becoming ubiquitous, and it's becoming a habit for consumers, especially savvy, educated consumers, high spenders, to do their due diligence before making purchase decisions and seeking out reviews to make the best possible decisions that they can. And this reflects that reviews. Again, why I want to really focus on reviews as having the most bang for your buck is that it's different from social media in the sense that these are thoughts, comments, opinions about the quality of your business and service that prospects are reading at the moment that they're trying to decide whether or not to do business with you, and they live on perpetually in that role, right? So it may be smart to get a negative mention for your business on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, but that is quickly buried and recedes into history. Reviews are always there and being sought out by consumers at the very moment that they're looking for that information and looking to make a decision. So that's why we focus on reviews as the most bang for your buck, and why I would say that this is actually a pretty complete strategy for what we started by calling reputation marketing, but I think it's fair to focus a strategy almost entirely on reviews, given the factors I mentioned leading up to this point, the extreme sort of power and influence they have in determining consumer behavior. All right, so this I'll go through, the tactical stuff I'll go through relatively quickly because I'm going to talk about it again when we look at the demo, and the demo will actually show some of these things in sort of in more detail. But let's see here. But review acquisition. So this is a simple enough idea. In fact, it's a starkly simple idea, and it is probably the biggest value center in doing any kind of review management, reputation marketing work. And it's simply to get more of your happy customers to participate in writing reviews. And since you're proactively doing that, might as well use that as an opportunity to also recover unhappy customers before they write reviews, right? If you're going to proactively start reaching out to customers for feedback, to get them to participate in some of these channels, you have an opportunity to capture that capture that unhappy customer who is out there stewing, feels like nobody wants to hear their opinion, and at some point might just get mad enough to exercise what we call the nuclear option, which is to excoriate your business in an online review. The reason review acquisition works so well, as you know, and we'll talk about the tactics, but the reason that it just works as a concept is that there is a this is the distribution of people who write reviews versus people who read them, right? There's an entire untapped pool of consumers who care about online reviews. They read them, consume them, and if we can just knock a few of them into the column of being review writers as well, we can actually unlock a lot more activity, a lot more voice of the customer in reviews as a channel. And so how do you do that? Well, we've actually surveyed consumers broadly about why they don't write a review. So these are savvy consumers who read and use online reviews to make their own decisions, but don't write them. And as you might predict, the responses you get, well, I never thought to write a review, or I was asked, but I forgot, or it's just takes too much time. It's too much of a pain, right? These are objections we can directly counter. Never thought to write a review? Well, we're going to ask you. You forgot to write a review? We can remind you. Takes too much time, it's too tedious. Well, we can make it simple and easy. And that's really the idea that spawned Grade.us, the idea of a review funnel, right? A funnel much like a sales funnel, marketing funnel. Could we use this similar model to drive customers post-transaction through the review process? And we have a bunch of tools for doing this. You can develop your own tools for doing this. So getting customers into the funnel might be as simple as a takeaway card that your reps leave with customers after finishing a job, settling a matter, whatever the business is, to more advanced, more digitally native types of media like the text messaging, email drip campaigns, etc. But these are the media for making the ask, right? For getting customers into the funnel in the first place. And we'll look at those in some detail. And then when they're in the funnel, this is where you have that unique opportunity by having proactively reached out to customers to identify anyone who's unhappy and divert them to a service recovery. And this is important because, again, another stat from an American Express study that I think most of us intuitively believe, and it turns out to be true, that it's more likely that an unhappy customer will be motivated to write a review than a happy customer, all things being equal. And so the ask can go a long way to unlocking more of those happy customers, again, to participate. This is a view of what a review funnel might look like. I'll show this more during the demo, but the idea being, well, this is inside our dashboards, but the idea being that you can drive customers to a landing page or other resource to identify whether they're happy or not, and drive them on, educate them on through completing a review, which is the last step of the review funnel. So for that site I mentioned, Zillow, you might have you presumably have for any given business a universe of or let's say a footprint on various local review sites, local directory sites, Google, Facebook being some of the most important, but then industry-specific sites like Zillow, TripAdvisor, HomeAdvisor, et cetera, being of growing importance. So what can this simple review acquisition suite of tools do for you? Well, here's an example of a large home services firm that started doing this about 9 months ago. What you see here is the inflection point 9 months ago when they started there, and I don't know if you see my mouse, but they're around September of last year. And in the blue shaded area, you see their total review volume over time. And this is across several channels, including Google, Yelp, and Better Business Bureau. And the dark line is showing you the trend in their overall average star rating, right? So this is the power of, so you can see they start with a 1.8 star rating across all of their reviews online, and ended up this month around 3.2, 3.3, and have a considerably more stable base now, in the sense that they have a lot more of their customers participating in those channels. And that's the benefit of doing, again, treating reviews and doing review acquisition, or treating reviews as a marketing channel, and doing a review acquisition campaign, to get my terms straight. So this is what can result from that. So over 9 months, they were able to drive 451 new reviews across those 3 review directory sites with an average rating of 4.6 or 4.36 stars, boosting their overall average or aggregate star rating by 82%, or 1.43 stars, and importantly, boosting their overall review count, right? So many businesses are smaller than this one and look more like this when they start out doing reputation marketing, right? They've never paid attention to reviews before, until one day they find they've got a single 1-star review somewhere that is dominating results for their name in search, or their listing on some important site. And by simply biting the bullet and setting up something to involve more of your customers in participating in those channels, you can see sometimes quite immediate results. We always like to work with people or businesses who keep it up over time, because again, this is in cases like this looks a lot like reputation repair, but in reality, to have this kind of tactic or program bear fruit over the long term and keep your business competitive, you've got to keep it up. So we do see people who or customers of ours who kind of write the problem and then go on their merry way. Always a risky strategy. All right, last couple things before I jump over to the demo. I wanted to focus on review acquisition because, like I said, it is by far the value center of doing this kind of work, as you could see from some of the the results that we generated. But hand in hand with that review acquisition effort are review monitoring and review amplification. Review monitoring is just making sure you are dialed in to the voice of the customer, but particularly to the review sites that matter to your business. And so, solutions like ours will monitor millions of them, get millions of listings. There's in the hundreds of directory sites that we monitor today, and gather all your reviews in one command center, send you alerts when new reviews are posted. And this allows you to not only measure the success of your campaigns, but stay on top of the one, stay on top of the aspect of the voice of the customer that is still a liability, which is the customer who decides they're going to exercise that nuclear option and really, like I said, eviscerate your business in online review. You can often neutralize the impact of that kind of negative comment simply by responding in a rational manner. A lot of businesses today have problems with competitors and even even some predatory vendors posting bad reviews about them that are not legitimate customers, and those need to be responded to too. Not only flagged to the publisher as being a fraudulent review, they may or may not take it down, but responding to the review with an owner response in a way that undercuts the legitimacy, like, well, you don't appear to be a customer of ours, or that's curious, you're posting this from the Philippines and we're in New York. Those kinds of things can, again, undercut anything that might remain detrimental to your business and reviews as a channel. And I have one more thing to say about that, but it escapes me at the moment, so I'll come back to it. And then, of course, part in keeping with addressing reviews as marketing channels, being able to see reports, trends, etc., like we looked at for that one case study. And then, as kind of a third leg of this strategy, strategy of reputation marketing, review marketing, if you will, is review amplification. And this is really something, concept that we developed to really help our customers get more mileage out of their earned positive reviews. So this means that, if you're doing all this work to, not only render good, run a good business, render good services, et cetera, but then to do review acquisition, get more of your customers participating, wouldn't it be great if you could then, get even more than the organic benefit of all of that work? And you can do that through amplifying your latest and greatest reviews, right? So you might use those reviews on your own sales and conversion pages, right? This is providing the critical social proof that many consumers need at the moment of deciding to, reach out and request a quote or not. They've got your recent happy customers having posted detailed reviews on vetted channels like Google and Facebook as a way of kind of greasing the wheels and showing them that, hey, this is a legit outfit. Look at what all these other customers had to say. There's also ways of using this review data, and we provide some tools for this to actually dovetail with your SEO strategies and use that content on your own web properties or property in order to get, for example, rich snippet stars and organic search results. Again, these are things that can have a lot of impact. I mean, we know that Google puts these review stars in search results because it drives clicks. People see, oh, this is 5-star rated, there's 98 reviews. Of course, I'm going to click here first. And lastly, another just kind of benefit of collecting all of your reviews in one place, turning them into these discrete shareable assets, is that you can have them shared to your social media profiles as a way. I know many business owners are kind of feel obligated to be on social media, but may or may not have much of a presence there, may or may not have much to say. Nevertheless, they have a footprint on social media, and wouldn't it be great to just kind of automatically have some pretty compelling content streamed there that's going to do nothing but boost the image of your business if someone should find you there. So that's review acquisition, monitoring, and amplification in a nutshell. Definitely feel free to open it up to questions, Alex, and I will try to transition here to just a quick look at the platform. I talked a bit longer over those slides, so I apologize. It's a bit longer than I wanted to, but I'll just go right into a whirlwind 10-cent tour here. If I can figure out exactly how. Hopefully that is showing the right screen, and just let me know if it isn't. But this is what a platform might look like, what our platform looks like for managing the kinds of campaigns that I sort of described conceptually as review acquisition, review monitoring, and review amplification. So here you see in our dashboard we've got a business set up, and we're on the funnel tab. That's funnel as in review funnel, which I described. A review funnel can live as kind of just a single, mobile responsive destination that you can drive customers to after any transaction to ascertain first whether they're happy or not. If they're not, we can drive them on to a service recovery through an offline exchange. But of course, if they identify as happy, we want to then make sure that their feedback is captured on some of the directories we care about, right? And so for any given business, we might have a different list here. We might have a single channel. We might have more than this. But what this does is this gives an opportunity to identify where a customer can quickly leave feedback, maybe somewhere where they can log in with Facebook, for example. If they're an avid Google or Gmail user, they might just go right to Google, and then we can kind of educate them in a quick step to set their expectations and send them on their way. I didn't check actually whether I had, yeah. So we've also built these links that have a special syntax that can open up this review dialog right away. So that it really, again, greases the wheels for getting customers to complete reviews where you want and need them. So that's the review funnel. I like to call these first three tabs our review acquisition suite, because once you have the funnel, you might want to extend the funnel functionality to different resources, embed it on your website, embed it in your email signature. We've got a lot of different options there. So these are ways of extending the review funnel functionality to other communication channels that you have with customers. But critically, the invites tab here is really a necessary part of doing effective review acquisition, is to have transactional campaigns to reach out to customers after a transaction and guide them through the review process, right? So if that sounds like a pain, I completely understand, and so you need something set up that makes it extremely easy or even completely automated to make that happen. So that's what our invites tab does. You set up campaigns in email, text, print, etc. Email campaigns are configured as drip campaigns that can go out, so you have the opportunity to not only ask, but remind and remind again that customer to complete the task. Once you've set these up for your business, it's as easy as, sure, you can manually add recipients to this campaign or upload your customer list, have us send them all out, or have us trickle them out over time, or you can hook this in hook into our API via, many businesses now use CRMs or other systems to really just automate this part of the equation. After an appointment, after a transaction, trigger the invite campaign to go out. Lastly, coming down the home stretch here, I see we're at 40 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. But under the headings of review, monitoring, and amplification come our last two tabs here. Again, having a single command center for your reviews across a wide range of web properties. I see a few of them represented here. Is pretty critical to kind of staying on top of what's being said about your business. These can be, this kind of shows you that command center view, whereas our reporting tools might be able to show you more of a trend type view to show you, your overall ratings distribution by number of stars, which sites you're doing well on, which sites you may need attention on. That similar graph to what I showed in the case study of how you're trending in terms of review volume and quality, where you're seeing attention, where you're not, collecting all of your reviews in one place in a discrete report that maybe encapsulates a week, a month, or quarter for yourself or your team to kind of consume and review. That's all an important part of keeping your finger on the pulse. And then back here under the reviews tab, this review stream concept gives you some tools to then take, again, your latest and greatest reviews, by default, your 4- and 5-star reviews, although you can configure this however you want, and make them something you can use as an asset, stream them to your website, your sales funnel pages, or even to social media, which looks like I broke this at some point. But anyway, that's the whirlwind tour that kind of gives you a sense of how we do some of the things I described. And with that, I will wrap it up, unless there are questions.
Thank you, Jon. The presentation was very informative. So if anybody has any questions later on today or next week, feel free to email Jon at jon@grade.us. And Jon is spelled Jon. And then if you want to learn a little bit more, please feel free to go to their website at grade.us. You can also check out all of our previous BOSS webinars on demand by visiting our website and clicking on webinars. You can also see our upcoming webinars on that same page. Thank you, everyone, for joining today, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day.